Hi guys, how are you? Okay, so kind of what we're just to get an idea or feel of where exactly we're going with our quilt, our paper quilt project that is inspired by Faith Ringgold. It's important to look at what the big picture will look like. So what we're planning is each one of you guys is going to get a large poster paper, and if you're doing it from home, then you need to buy a large piece of paper. We've been doing sections of paper quilts, so we've been using white paper, but what I also would like to recommend is that you guys use color paper, right? And the idea is that each color paper would get folded in half first, right? And after folding it in half, you would then go get the other side and fold that in half. So you have four equal pieces. Now it's important that you cut neatly. Something that helps me is that I will fold, press it with my nails, then go back and fold it with the other, fold it to the other side, press my nail, again, fold it one more time, and press it with my nail. And what that does is kind of make it easier to either A, cut it manually, or use the scissors, and it makes it very specific of how you want that piece to be. So the idea is that you want to create a border that is going to be around your larger piece of paper. And obviously we talked about how the middle part is going to feature you, but it's also going to feature buildings, kind of do the same thing that Tar Beach did, which is when the character is flying over her home, her buildings, also the George Washington Bridge. So you want to create a place that is familiar to you, a place that you love, a place that you maybe have visited at least once, something that's familiar, because this whole piece is somewhat autobiographical, right? This piece is something that is supposed to represent your life. We're going to be asking parents to also email us photos of how you were when you're little so that we can create a quilt that also has that as well. Okay, so I'm just going to continue cutting these pieces. What I want you to do is make sure that if you do not have color construction paper, you need to go ahead and buy that. What I did is I grabbed more colors. I grabbed the hot pink, can't really see here, and I grabbed a different kind of red because the other red was not good. So I'm going to just go ahead and continue folding this. And I want you guys, I'll see if I can post a picture, but the idea is that once again, if you do not have color construction paper, you need to go ahead and buy it. It's not expensive. I want you, even though I'm using a light baby blue, I don't want you to use light colors. I would rather you use bright colors. So the idea is that we're going to create a collage. So what you can do is you can use the pieces, like for example, you can, if you want to make a person, and obviously it's hard to color that on the actual paper, you can color it and then you can cut it out, right? We want these pieces to be something that resembles your personality, and if they can have little pieces like vignettes of your life, that would be fantastic, right? The idea is to make something that really represents you. So I'm just gonna go ahead and show you once again. So if you have this paper, right, you are going to create a border that has different colors. You don't want it to look all the same. So each section would have a different color. That's a light blue, and then the yellow, right? And then obviously going around with different colors, and you kind of repeating a pattern. So I'm going to just go ahead and work with what I have now. So just to give you some idea of some of the supplies that I'm using, I have these oil pastels, which are called crayons, and they're from Stadler, and they're a little messy, but they will really color super strong. I have color markers, right? And if you looked at them, and I have color pencils. So if you really looked at the video that I posted before with Faith Ringgold, you can really tell that she used fabrics, right? She used a canvas that she painted the background. And then what she did is she took fabrics that were on armchairs that would normally be used to make armchairs or sofas. And so they're very sturdy, and usually they were floral. And what she did is she then added some more paint. So you can do a combination of florals Again, you could draw people because I think that's super awesome. I don't think you should be confined to doing one specific thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna draw somebody. I'm gonna take the color markers and I will be zooming in so you can see, excuse me, what I'm doing. All right, so I have the person here and I'm gonna go ahead and draw a face or the starting of a face, and I'm using a marker so that you can see. The eye, now you don't have to do this, but this is just to give you an idea of where I'm going, right? And then the nose, I think I'm gonna, okay, eyebrow. And I'm not gonna color the lipstick with the darker color because I think it won't show nicely, and I'm gonna just do that with a red. Maybe I can outline with a blue. So I have a person's face here, right? And then I'm gonna actually take this person and I'm going to do a headband, or I'm going to express that this person is using some kind of wrap. It could actually be a hijabi. How about that? Because I used to at one point wear a hijab. It was something that I used for a few years. And so this could be representative of the time when I used to wear hijab. So I can go ahead, color the eyebrows a little bit more. I don't really like how the forehead is looking, but I will work that out. Maybe I need to go a little bit lower and go like this. Okay, so now I'm gonna go take the crayons because the crayons really will color strong regardless of what the background is. And I'm gonna just make some designs on the outside. So you can see how the crayon immediately will just be like super hard. Like it's even harder than an actual crayon. You can actually smear crayon too. So it gets a little messy, but you can do that. And I can just doing a background for this so that it can look as vibrant as possible. So you can use a combination of things. You could use tissue paper if you want to add some texture. And I haven't really explored the hijab yet. I might actually use color pencils for that. But I am definitely creating a background of sorts that has something that's pretty vibrant. If you saw this like in person, you would see, wow, like that's really a very bright color combination. And now I'm gonna go take something that looks like a hot pink and I'm gonna add more design. You can do this also with a crayon. And I'm not sure if you're gonna get that much color variety, at least here. But you can. And the marker, if you notice, it will show depending on the background, but it's not something that's like super, super bright. And now I'm gonna take the color pencil and I'm going to, just because it has a thinner point, I'm gonna use it to draw designs on the hijab. So I already started with green, so I'm gonna get some purple and I'm gonna get pink and see if that shows, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and basically make the beginning of what I think would be, so they look sort of like little, very long oval type of things, but that's gonna be the body of the butterfly. Now this pink doesn't show, so that means that I have to go ahead and do it with something darker. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm making butterflies for her hijab. You don't have to include a person. You could do something that's a natural background that could be buildings. It could be a whole bunch of different things. But I think it's very important that you kind of stay sort of true to yourself in terms. So I'm going to go with a crepe pot because it's not showing the colors that I want. So I'm going to color that top part. I'm outlining with, and I'm just trying to repeat things here. So and the bottom one, I'm gonna go for a different color. I think I'm gonna go for a yellow. I don't know if it's gonna look that much different. Nope, it doesn't look that much different. But if you look at it closer, it does. And I'm just coloring it in. I'm gonna also use this for the outside part, which is the green. And I'm gonna go ahead and color some of that. So it's starting to come alive, her hijab. You want to obviously be as neat as possible. And maybe for the second layer, I'm gonna do a darker green, right? So there's like two kinds of green going on with her hijab, not just one type of green, and the other one is a solid color. And you could do this easily with a crayon as well. The good thing about a cray pot is that you can then get your finger and kind of rub it in so it looks smooth and you won't see like those like you see the surface, but if you get your finger, obviously it'll be messy, but you can kind of create some smoothness in the texture. And that's what I'm going for. So I'm going to go ahead and just continue doing this. And okay. All right, so this is what I have so far, and I think it's not so bad. If I wanted to add, let's say for instance, if I had scrap paper, I'm not going to use these, but if I had scrap paper, I can easily add little elements that would stick out and would create a bit more texture, right? I'm going to go ahead and do the one that's in yellow. I think I'm going to go back, I'm going to go with the baby blue. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with some color markers. And this one is just going to be flower. Because remember our Faith Ringgold also used like a lot of floral things. So I'm going to go ahead and just go with a floral thing right here. And I'm going to use my color pencil for this part right here to make the stem. And then I'm going to go ahead and make a smaller one here. So it kind of takes over the whole thing. Right? I can even go over here. What is a continuation of one that's supposed to be on the far end. And what I would like to do, or what I like to do, is sometimes I like to go with a darker shade and then a lighter shade. So I kind of just go, and the tips and the bottom part, I like to color in a darker shade. This is entirely up to you. You could do reverse or you could do a solid color, but I like to combine colors. And kind of make like it seem like the colors are kind of bleeding into each other. Again, it's your choice of how you're going to go about this, and then just get the lighter color and then go in between and kind of join it. Maybe even go over that other color. And I think it looks pretty like that. Usually what I do is I don't have it colored with a color marker. I have it with a very thin black marker because it'll be subtle, and at the same time it'll also be, and then go color that stem. And maybe I can go ahead and just make leaves sort of coming around here, and just kind of create this natural, very summer, spring type of thing, because there are all these flowers that are blooming. And going again, coloring these pieces over here so that it looks really pretty. I actually would like a lighter green for this part. Just outline, oh, this doesn't look as light as I want it to. But I can easily go ahead, and if I had those crayons, which I do, take advantage and actually color some little bits of that as well. And it's kind of nice to use a combination of colors. If you have some, definitely take advantage. So maybe what I'll do is I will get some of these and I will just make little green lines. I don't know if you can see that. That will just create a more of a blending of colors. And I'm going ahead and continuing coloring this and coloring the bottom. I'm going with my pink. It's actually a really light peachy pink, more on the peach side. So to me, this looks nice. Looking at it one more time. I think you could have some more stuff going on. Not sure what exactly, but I think I will use a green marker and I will just outline these a little bit better because I think it needs to be more outlined, and then this part outlined, and continuing this. Let's go ahead with the marker one more time. There's a part of me that wants to just kind of make some more like little pink elements there, which I can, but I'm not sure if that's where I want to go. I think by outlining this, this will make it pop out more and I will be able to appreciate that nice hot pink combination. I always think pink and green look really good together. And it's soft enough with the blue. So I created now, as you can see, 2 backgrounds using 2 different types of art supplies. And the idea, again, is to create this border. I think I made the video a bit too long. Anyway, that's it for now. Have a good one.